What's up guys, we're back. If it's your first time joining us in the garage, we've been working on this 78 Chevy LUV a lot. We're making a custom firewall today. Now that those inner fenders are in place, time to work on this firewall. Trying to figure out the best way to go about doing this. Probably start just by marking the center. Alright, center line is marked. Before we pulled the mock-up engine out of here, we traced the valve covers so we know exactly where that engine is going to sit. So my thought is to recess the firewall back in the same shape as the gauge cluster. Whoop. Just like this. So that's the idea. Now I just got to make it happen. I have 3 different lines marked here. This one would match the cluster more. This one follows the engine block more. This one is right in the middle. I think that one's just right. We marked our distributor center here. I also know that that's exactly the height of the base from the floor. So I'm going to remark that up here. I got a pretty good idea what I'm going to do. I'm going to jump on that tomorrow. Just cut a big hole in my firewall. Cut the shape out that matches my gauge cluster. Now what? I think a wise idea would be to start by taking some measurements. So this big section, I don't need to recess that back a whole lot, maybe a ½ inch to clear. Just enough to clear the engine and keep it right and tight. The part that's really going to have to recess back is where the distributor goes. The center of that is here, and the very top, over the plug wires and everything, is actually right here. I don't want to put myself into a spot Where if I gotta pull a distributor out, I gotta pull a whole dang engine out of here. So I'm thinking, fabricating a whole distributor cove will go around the distributor underneath the cowl. So when I pull the cowl off, I can pull that thing right out of there. So that's the plan for the whole job. For now, I'm gonna concentrate on this opening. We'll cut a 1/2-inch strip to weld all the way around that, then make a cardboard template of that recessed area, and we'll cut that out. I didn't almost poke my eye out that time. Sometimes you just gotta stand back and look what you've been doing. This is turning out really cool, at least from this angle. The funny thing is this truck has a forward tilt hood. you're not going to be able to see that from the front. You'll see it from this way with a big engine in the way. But it's those cool little things that separate your truck from everybody else. Those cool little details that you might not catch right away. But when you do and you realize what's going on, it just makes it that much cooler, that much more finished, and just that much more planned out. So I'm definitely happy with what I got going on here. I'm gonna go ahead and finish welding all that together. I gotta finish this firewall. Not sure how I'm gonna do this distributor cove, but I got a tape measure and I'm just gonna climb in and do it. I should be able to use that to get my radius in a piece of sheet metal. So I know that that needs to be 7.5 inches tall. I'm just gonna throw a guess out there and cut one 20 inches long. See also how to make a mailbox. You said 2.5 inches, right? Yeah. Well, I think that's gonna work pretty good. I'm gonna weld this up and we can get it in there. No light means it's just right. While you weren't looking, I marked where our cove was going. I also marked it under the cowl. Okay, it was while my battery was dead. But either way, it's marked, let's cut it out. have some issues with this. I cut it as tall as the distributor, not how tall I wanted it. I also cut this out measuring off of this section and not this section, so it's cut kind of wide. But guys, I'm gonna run with it. I can add a piece in there, and I'm an old skateboarder. I'm not afraid to ollie gaps. I'm gonna have to radius these into there too when the time comes. One thing at a time. So I extended the cove, welded it in the cowl, and I wasn't sure how I wanted to finish these. So I went ahead and did one real quick just to see how it looked. So I think something like that'll work. Kind of flows right into the cove, flows out of it on the other side. So I'm gonna go with that. Let's go make the other one. So these fenders, front and rear, started out as tandem trailer fenders. And then I made this part and this. So what I did on that side is I took this leftover piece, cut a piece of the contour out, stuck it in the shrinker, and shrunk it until it was at a 90. Worked out pretty good, so I'm gonna do it again. I did a couple of relief cuts in it. Hopefully that'll help it turn that 90 a little easier. We'll have to massage this part out a little bit. It lost its contour a little. What do you think, guys? I think it's turning out pretty good. Just a little something around that transmission and the steering column, and we can move on. This piece here is what we cut that 1/2 inch strip out of. So it's 1.5 inches, which is exactly the measurement we just took. We'll weld this to the firewall over the transmission, and it'll give us something to work that transmission tunnel out of. You guys seen how those measurements were just a guess, right? Let's see how good my eyeballs are. It's pretty close. A little heat from the welder and convincing with the hammer, and I think it's gonna fit. Getting rained on in here. Just a beautiful day in Wisconsin. Just kidding, it sucks. It's cold and rainy. It's just got that feel in the air that you know it's fixing to get cold again. Whatever, we have fun work to do here. We got to do something about that hole in the firewall where the column comes through. And I got an idea. I know I got a little piece of leftover 1/4 inch round rod around here somewhere. There it is. I'm pretty happy with how that's turning out. Thanks for hanging out with me in the garage. I appreciate the company. I really do. If you haven't subscribed yet, hit that subscribe button because I got a ton of ideas for this thing, and I want to share them all with you. See you guys next time.